Welcome to the video, guys. Happy to see you, even though I can't see you. But hey, you can see me, so we have that. There's that. So today's video is going to be about 5 things that I do every single day inside the game, how I prioritize my time, because my time is my most valuable resource, and it should be yours as well. Before we get into that, guys, I do want to take a moment to reflect on today. It's 9/11. I know you see this everywhere you go. I don't want to be a source of kind of, I don't know, not negativity, but I don't want to be a downer here on the channel. I like to be escape from reality where everybody's arguing all the time. Everybody's, you know, just sharing negative news because, you know, you guys should be aware that negative news, negative headlines, negative, you know, people arguing on social media, all that stuff, you know, it's all you see for a reason because it sells, it gets engagements, it gets clicks, it gets eyeballs because it, you know, it evokes strong emotions from us. But we shouldn't lose sight that, and I tweeted about this the other day too, we shouldn't lose sight, not to sound all woo-woo to you guys, you know, I'm not like that, but we shouldn't lose sight that you know, all that really matters is what we can really see, right? Don't fall victim and prey to news outlets, and not even a political statement on every side of the equation, right? That are there to kind of abuse your emotions, right? Don't fall prey to that. There's a lot to be grateful for in this world. There's a lot to be thankful for in this world. You know, you can start with your health if you're healthy, you know, and if not, you can start by your loved ones and what we do have. And we should always take time to acknowledge who we do have. And that brings me back to, you know, this being the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. And I just kind of took a moment to reflect on how grateful I am to still be here 20 years after that day and still have my loved ones, a lot of them in my life. I've unfortunately lost a few of my loved ones as well, but you know, I'm very thankful to have this moment, and I'm glad to have you guys here with me, even if just watching a menial Raid Shadow Legends video. Obviously, my heart goes out to all the victims of 9/11 and really of any act of terrorism or violence in this world. It's such a shame, but it also is a good reminder to those of us, you know, still here, right? To value our loved ones, to value what truly matters in life, and not to let distractions, going back again to, you know, news headlines and social media and arguments and menial little things in life bring us down too much. And I'm sorry for getting on my soapbox so much there in the beginning of this video, but I felt like it was a good day to kind of reflect on what matters most. And, you know, there we go. All right, so today, what matters most is time, right? Because that's what it comes down to in Raid, right? Time. We need our time back. Listen, they've added so many amazing things to this game. If you told me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, heck, I was playing Snake on my Nokia device, right?
I am the one who got us this far, you sentient animal.
If you had told me they can cram this much amazing content into one mobile device, hell yeah, I would have been absolutely blown away. And the truth is, they've done a fantastic job adding great content to this game. However, especially if anything you can use a key, faction wars, for example, right? Doom Tower boss farming. There's no way that we have to look at the same champions beating the same boss, you know, 10 times a day for hours at end in order to get any sense of enjoyment out of this game. And when they add more content, we're gonna get a new dungeon, a new clan boss eventually, right? When they add more content, it's just gonna create more of a time sink. And you know, somewhere the investors, the stakeholders of Raid Shadow Legends, they love that, right? How can we keep people playing more? You know, somewhere there's somebody just laughing their way to the bank saying, dude, our players play for an average of, get this, 10 hours a day.
That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
In reality, we're not playing 10 hours a day, Plarium investors. We're really playing, you know, 45 minutes a day. And then we have our phones charging somewhere in the corner with the game open, watching the same 3 champions beat the same boss for 15 hours a day. You know, I'm always exaggerating, but it's an issue, and I think it all comes down to money, as most things do, right, guys? They love the fact that people are playing their game for hours on hours a day, even though we're not actually playing. We're watching or not watching the same champions beat the same boss ad nauseum, right? Just to get the daily rewards that they're given to us. So as they release more content, they really need to address this. Listen, there's, you know,
what is taking so long? I wasted all day
I'm just gonna end my rant there. I'm gonna end my rant. I'm gonna get to the actual topic of the video here, like 10 minutes in, 5 minutes in, whatever. I apologize. I will add timestamps to this video so people know. Okay, when does he start talking about what he does every day? I apologize. So what do I do every day? But point being made, they need to fix this. Log in. On both my accounts, I log in every day, right? I mean, it's basic, but it's worth saying because just logging in, you get your daily login rewards. You get to collect, your gem mine, et cetera, your experience from champions that you have in the sparring pit, and so on and so forth. So just logging in is great, right? That's a good start. The first priority after I log in every day on both accounts is to actually, believe it or not, use my auto attacks, right? So I get auto attacks on my free to play, which I'd be lying to you guys if I said I did them every day, but you get them 40 every day, no matter what. Might as well use them. If you have the raid pass, you get 100 every single day. So I do that overnight, every night, right? And in what, area do I use my auto attacks on? I told you guys this in the past, but I tend to one day a week, I will farm the potions that I'm the lowest on, for ascending champions, and then I'll farm some arcane potions. So I'll split it like 50-50 or 20-20 on my auto attacks, on my free to play, on my main, and I'll just make sure I'm always stocked up on potions. The other 6 days of the week, I might forget, from time to time too, but the other days of the week overnight, I used to have my favorite dungeons, Fire Knight, usually, sometimes Dragon, and spend all my time there. But now I'm just going to whatever there's an event on, so I look at the events or the tournaments and I just see what dungeon those are. Spider, obviously, I don't know why I mentioned Spider, where I spend the most of my time, right? And I'll usually just, unless I need silver, I'll go with Spider for a couple days in a row, right? Auto farming. But other than that, I just let the events and the tournaments dictate where I'm spending my auto attacks every day. So that's priority number one, because I don't have to be there in front of the, the device to do that. Number 2 is Clan Boss, because that's the only reliable way that you can get legendary skill tomes, that you can get, sacred shards in this game, right? So, and not to mention the immortal and the cruel gear as well. So Clan Boss, an easy number 2 priority. Number 3 priority for me is actually Doom Tower, right? And when I say Doom Tower, I mean like completing Doom Tower to make sure that I'm, up on things, only because I enjoy it. I actually really like Doom Tower, right? However, with that said, I don't think it should necessarily be, everybody's third priority. I think the third priority should be Faction Wars, and that is my third priority on my free-to-play account. Faction Wars, because then I can get Bloodstones, which I can use for perception gear. Obviously, the glyphs are great. They're very nice, don't get me wrong, and I love glyphs, but really it's getting more perception gear, getting more Bloodstones. You can only get them in Faction Wars. So using Faction Wars, even upgrading champions with crappy gear to level, 30, 40, 50, whatever, alongside my maxed out champions in those factions is a huge priority for me on my free-to-play and on my main account. And also with Faction Wars, guys, I'll go ahead and try to use my tag team battles as well to get more Faction War keys, ergo, more glyphs, and more perception artifacts, right? Love my perception artifacts. Priority number 4 is going to be Doom Tower, kind of secret rooms, making sure that I'm kind of working on those teams, but most importantly too, taking advantage of those keys to farm Doom Tower bosses, right? It goes back to the Forge again. Some of the best artifacts, the best gear that you can get inside this game is available in the Forge, so pick the piece of gear that can best, help your teams, depending on where you are on your account in progression inside this game, and make sure you're farming that Doom Tower boss. If there's anything that I'm slacking on, generally it's actually that. I hate to admit it, but that's it, man. Doom Tower boss farming goes back to my rant earlier. I just wish it was an instant click like it is in Marvel Strike Force and so many other champion collector games, so many other gotcha games, right? Where you just, tap one time and you expend your keys, you get your resources.
Rather live in shit than let the world see you work a shovel.
I would still call it a really important thing to go ahead and prioritize your time in. And number 5 is going to be, you guessed it, the arena. So the arena is really important. I don't need to tell you guys as to why. I won't lie to you guys though. I am not one of those players that does every single arena medal that I get a day because, well, I guess I have a life, right? Or I try to outside of raid. So if I'm gonna let anything slack, it's gonna be my 5th priority. And again, that is both tag team arena, just farming medals for, more resources, more champion fragments, whatever you're going for in the bazaar, right? But also the regular arena so that you're always focused on your Great Hall. Now, I used to do the arena much more often, and I do it actually much more often. I spend more time in the arena on my free-to-play account because I'm really trying to go after all my accuracy categories in the Great Hall, which I think just makes a tremendous impact. Really, accuracy and resistance, especially getting those kind of flat stats is so huge. That's why resistance aura leads and accuracy aura leads, to me, they're underrated, because instead of having a small percentage that goes off of your base stats, not your total stats on your champions, well, that accuracy, that's huge. You know, a champion with 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 accuracy on all of your champions, that's massive, and that's why I always prioritize maxing out my accuracy in my Great Hall. So that's why Arena comes in at number 5. If you don't have your accuracy categories maxed out in the Great Hall, I would certainly maybe even raise that to the 4th priority over the Doom Tower boss farming, but it really depends on you and what you're going after. So again, to recap here, for me, number 1 is just logging in and making sure I'm playing overnight in, you know, whatever dungeon there is an event for. That way I'm also farming those event or tournament resources on top of the normal gear in silver that I'm getting from that specific area of the game. Number 2 is going to be clan boss. Number 3 is going to be faction wars. Number 4 is Doom Tower, you know, boss farming primarily. And number 5 is the arena. Those are my priorities inside the game. In the time that I'm actually there sitting in front of my device playing the game, like the real playing the game, I'm usually working on upgrading new champions, trying new teams, and specifically trying to beat new stages of secret rooms inside Doom Tower, because that's kind of where I am in terms of my advancement inside the game. So for example, right now I am working on Baroth the Blood-Soaked. Where are you? He's kind of the champion that I'm focused on right now because I am stuck on this secret room right here. I'll kind of end the video there before I go on too long of a tirade here. Secret room 7 on this new Doom Tower rotation. It is, nope. Make it secret room 8. There we go. It is force HP champions only. So I'm going to need to do some work since I only have 3 maxed out. So I'm working on Baroth right now. And that's kind of what I do during my extra time inside this game. And obviously upgrading champions comes with everything else around that. Comes with, you know, farming more potions, farming campaign, so on and so forth, farming food for those champions. That's the time that I'm actually engaged, you know, on my device every day. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you, you know, some priorities for yourself. Maybe you can resonate with the time issues. If you have any solutions, if you agree with me, heck, if you disagree with me, maybe you like the fact that we, you know, I don't know what kind of sickos you are who like that, but maybe you like the fact that you get to be on your device for 10 hours a day trying to play this game. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. And do you disagree with my priorities? What are your priorities? Give me your top 2 or 3 priorities that you do every single day inside the game as well. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.